Time for the Thursday edition of Litter Media Live. With the icon Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey, and he's Aaron Glandon. Guy off to our side, he's our show producer.
Producer extraordinaire.
He's our relaxation specialist.
I'll let you explain.
Never gets worked up about anything. Just easy going, just hanging loose.
That can be a problem.
The opposite
sometimes.
of you two.
That can be a problem sometimes. Yeah, things get missed that way. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was your interjection?
I'm the opposite of you two.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
Is it something to do with hard work and no work, or what did he mean by that?
Not getting worked up.
Not getting worked up. Yeah.
Probably the age thing.
I think so.
The age factor.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because we're on the lower end of the baby boomers.
That's correct.
And he is what comes, 2 generations after baby boomers?
Right.
Because there was Gen Xers, and then after that was millennials. And you're like on the tail end of whatever the next thing is.
I'm what they call a zillennial.
Zillennial.
I'm like right between Gen Z and millennial.
It sounds like a medication, doesn't it? Zillennial.
It does.
I see that on TV news every night. Yeah.
It may cause dizziness, sudden spastic moments. I haven't seen him go spastic yet, though.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm waiting.
Wait till he gets married.
Oh, yeah.
Then
it's a coming, buddy.
Then
it's
life will change.
Then you'll be like us.
We better move on to the forecast to see how things are shaping up for us here today. Another sunshiny day.
Can you have asked, or could you have asked for a better week as far as the daytime weather?
76 degrees by 5 p.m. Friday. What a great start to the weekend.
It has been absolutely a gorgeous week. We're, of course, still in Thursday, sunshine with a high about 73, 76 for tomorrow. But that's when the rain comes in late Friday night into the early morning hours, possibly throughout the day on Saturday. National Weather Service says there's a chance of some strong thunderstorms Saturday night. Yesterday they were saying 7 p.m. to midnight is that questionable area Saturday. So just be on the alert for that. I think the way they were talking that most of that would be out of here by Sunday with some early morning showers. That's when you look at read a forecast sometimes, unless it's detailed, it might, like your phone app, it might say rain on Sunday, but it might be an hour, early Sunday morning. So the rest of the day may be great. So, but I think they're saying temperatures in the 50s for a high on Sunday.
I was out yesterday, got home not real early, but earlier than I normally do. And Amelia was at the house, and we went outside to look at the flowers. And then it was, I want to pick some. I said, okay, there's enough. I mean, they've grown, they've spread a little bit. I said, you can pick one of each color. And she goes, okay, there's white, there's purple. I want a yellow one. I said, well, there's a yellow one right there. Mm-hmm. So she pulls a yellow one, and then she wanted another purple one and another white one, another yellow one. But it was great to get outdoors.
Yeah.
And she was able to get on her swing set, and she was happy with that as well. So
was watching a movie last night from 1941, and they pronounced it Forsythia.
Oh, really?
I always thought it was Forsythia.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way everybody around here pronounces it.
Yeah. So. Well, it's like Gallipolis. Gallipolis. If you're down in Gallipolis, it's Gallipolis. And we'll not get into
what we're both thinking.
Commercial that was on the radio many years ago,
right,
with one of our elected officials. That should be a Dan and Mike radio moment.
That would be funny.
We should get back to that at some point in time. All right, coming up in a moment to look at news and to look at sports and this date in history. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. It is spring cleaning time. And of course, you can need a dumpster just about any time whenever you're working on projects and things like that for your personal, at your residential use, or for your business use. 740-253-8389. Keep these people busy. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old. The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number, save a life. Take a look at this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. Click on it, and it will take you to an information page where you can learn more about the Bean Foundation and suicide prevention. We have work going on in the warehouse, which is on the other side of that window right there. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but if you hear roaring motor noises
or things slamming on the floor,
things are being moved. Look at littermedia.com. That's where you'll find a lot of what we're going to share with you here today. But there's some things that are not on our website that we share through our social media. You can find all those platform icons up in the right-hand corner of our website, littermedia.com. And speaking of icons, or I should say icons, here's the Micon. Mike with our lead story in news today.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine delivered his State of the State address yesterday.
Another Micon.
Yes, that's right. During that joint session of the Ohio General Assembly, Governor DeWine continued to pledge making Ohio the best place in the nation to live, work, and raise a family. Now, there was a couple of notes in a very lengthy speech that caught local folks' attention. One of them, Tays Valley Superintendent Kyle Wolf was acknowledged for having banned smartphones in the classroom that have made a positive impact at that school, including less unruliness among students and better grades. Governor DeWine also talked about using proceeds from gambling taxes and fees instead of state general funds to support renovation and building stadiums. The Chillicothe Paints were even included in his mention of Ohio teams in need of stadium funds.
Yeah, he was talking about everybody loves going to sports, and he was marrying kids playing sports and spectators going to watch sports. And he goes through the Toledo Mud Hens. To be honest with you, I don't know if he even mentioned the Columbus Clippers.
I didn't see that in the notes.
But he finished it up with Chillicothe Paints. I'm like, what?
Yeah. What do you say?
So the gist of it was the funding is now for any of those stadium-type projects will come from the gaming sites. So it's good to hear that. But he also threw out a lot of new employers across the Buckeye State, mentioned Endurl, and even down at Speyside Bourbon down at Jackson. Is it Speyside Cooper Bourbon, where they make the whiskey barrels.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so that was even, they're adding several jobs there too. So it was really a positive thing. But of course, it's his proposed budget, and now it's up to legislatures to determine whether or not that will all take place. A full worm blood moon is going to be taking place. Now, this is, the blood moon from what I understand is red, but the full worm moon hike is going to take place at Lake Hope State Park tonight. Naturalists to observe the moonrise. They will be leading that trek. They'll begin their 3-mile hike at sunset and continue along the paved campground road as the moon begins its ascent into the night sky.
And pets are permitted if they're on a leash.
Mm-hmm. Flashlights, headlamps also permitted, but they'll be challenging yourselves to walk Our cat got out last night. Missy wakes me up and she says, "That cat's out." And he's a house cat, but now he's outside. And no one's safe until he gets back inside. So I'm walking around at 2:30 in the morning with my flashlight looking for the cat. Fortunately, he was underneath my car hiding out there. So we managed to get him back in the house.
Good deal.
So I was out with a flashlight last night. People will be out with their flashlights tonight, taking a look at this out at Lake Hope State Park.
Join Hopewell National Historical Park throughout the month of April to combat the invasive plant garlic mustard. Volunteers are required to attend one training session to receive information on proper identification and safety techniques for the removal of garlic mustard from park grounds. A March 29th training session gets things started before the April eradication efforts.
Get ready for an incredible journey through Ohio's rich cultural history during Ohio World Heritage Week. 7 days, 7 sites. Happens April 12th through the 18th. This week-long celebration invites you to explore the newly designated UNESCO World Heritage-listed Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks through guided tours, interactive activities, and engaging discussions. Each day features free tours of one of Ohio's remarkable earthwork sites, from Fort Ancient and Great Circle Earthworks to Sipe Earthworks and Mound City Group. Along the way, discover the stories behind these ancient ceremonial landscapes, their and astronomical alignments, and their deep cultural significance. This happens again pretty soon, April 12th, basically 1 month from this week, April 12th through the 18th.
County Farm Bureau presidents are in the nation's capital doing the work to secure a strong future for American farmers. Now, pictured here on the far left, that's Lynn Schultz out of Fairfield County Farm Bureau, Blaine Metzger of Pickaway County, and then on the far right, Pam Snyder of Ross County. Now, I took this trip not as a member of Farm Bureau, but back in the 80s, early 90s, they invited media in the area, and I had the good fortune of taking, I think, 3 trips to D.C. I think Mitch Cochran went once, Christina Wolford went one time, and very educational, but an opportunity to get to see I think one year we were there, the cherry blossoms were out.
Oh,
and
wow.
man, you talk about pretty. That was really something neat. But shout out to the Farm Bureau for trying to help the farmers with the Congress.
I did not have that story in my script, so I'm going to jump into the mom-to-mom sale.
Okay.
Is that all right? That'll be this coming weekend, March 15th from 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the OU Chillicothe Shoemaker Center. For spring, summer clothes, toys, strollers, shoes, baby furniture, car seats, and they've got plenty of other things too. An early bird entry will be at 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., so you get a half hour in there for $5. General admission is $2 from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is always a popular event.
The Garnet A. Wilson Public Library in Pike County is partnering with Community Action of Scioto County to bring the community a parent cafe. This casual meeting of parents helps discuss issues and offers support from other parents. Community Action of Scioto County will provide snacks, drinks, and a gas card for those who sign up for this event. Now, for those watching today, if you scan the QR code to sign up today for the noon March 26th meeting at Waverly Library at 207 North Market Street.
Plan your visit for the Easter Cave at White Gravel Mines. I'm excited about this. I've never been to it. I've always seen other people's experiences shared on social media. But the days of reflection and connection are scheduled from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. the first 3 Fridays and Saturdays in April. I know that if you have difficulty walking, they have areas where they can help carry and guide you through. So if you want to see that. But I was thinking that either this or their Christmas cave might be coming to a close. But maybe it's the Christmas cave because obviously you've got dates here for the Easter cave.
Alrighty. This is something that I'm not familiar if they've done this in the past, so it might be something new. It's called Sip and Thrift. It comes to downtown Washington Courthouse on April the 12th, beginning at noon and ending at 3. It's sidewalk sipping and thrifting. Now, new or gently used items, including men, women, and children's clothing, knickknacks, bags, and accessories will only be $1 each.
Wow.
So if you're into the thrifting,
That's the thrift part, right?
you'll
there.
want to go to downtown Washington Courthouse on April the 12th.
Aaron will be there. Always looking for bargains. This Saturday, the Knights of Columbus, Council 15793, will host a drive-through food distribution, 10 a.m. till noon, right behind St. Peter Church, which you're seeing on screen here today, at the corner of Church and Water Streets. Ross County residents in need of food are invited to enter the parking lot using the Church Street entrance and exit onto Water Street. Additionally, diapers and baby formula will also be available while supplies last. Distribution is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. They ask that you not arrive early and block access to the church or Church Street. Next month's distribution will occur the second Saturday of the month instead of the usual third Saturday, and return to the normal schedule in May. I'm going to guess that's because of Easter coming up.
Yeah, very good. Road report. Now, this is something that's not going on now, but you want to put this on your calendar for those of you who travel this road in Pickaway County. We're talking about a future sanitary sewer project on Bullen Pierce Road. It'll take 10 days and begin October the 10th. Now, the closure will affect the stretch between Duval Court West and Shepherd Road as crews work to completely do necessary infrastructure improvements. Now, drivers are advised to seek alternate routes during that period. And again, that's a 10-day project, and it begins October the 10th. Maybe farmers or business people that might have to be traveling in that particular area, probably the only ones that need to mark something on their calendar that far away for traffic. But that's a heads up coming up in October.
And it's an easy way to get around. So that's the good thing. Used to live in that area, off of Shepherd Road up towards Lockbourne and in that area. So, all right. You want to find out more, just go to our website, Mike Smith. Do you have that up on our road report on the page? Okay. Littermedia.com, and click where it says Road Report. Coming up, sports just around the corner. But first, let's tell you about Haynes Total Healthcare Center. Chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs, they take care of it all. They've been doing that since 1974. And now here they are starting their 51st year. If you want to learn more, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, hayneshealth.com. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Life, it can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
They're calling it the Spring Sales Event at Hometown Motors Incorporated, going on right now. And while supplies last, they have new riding tractors for just $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers at $3399.99.
How about those walk-behinds?
You know what the price is?
I don't.
$399.99.
There it is. What about the trimmers?
Why don't we talk about chainsaws, because that's next. $279.99. New blowers at $199.99. New trimmers, $229.99. And it's best to hurry in while the selection is still in the store. Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors.
They've got like more than 30 brands all right inside one store. And you'll find it at 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. Time for sports.
Mr.
And we
Relax.
start with the Gus Macker launch meeting that was held last night.
Hey, look, it's Gus.
That
got a
is Gus.
mustache.
He was there. I personally spoke to Brian Grigsby, who is the FCA director in our area, and they are putting on Gus Macker this year. And he told me a little bit about what would be different since FCA is putting on the event this year.
So we're going to obviously, this is Gus Macker, so it's going to be a 3-on-3 basketball event. But with FCA, we're going to try to obviously make a part of this ministry. So how do we reach people with the gospel, and how do we share the hope of Jesus with people? And so we're going to try different ways to do that. We're actually with a committee trying to come up with those ideas right now of how we're going to do that, but ultimately that's going to be our goal with the event. We are going to try to combine, again, because this is Gus Macker and it's going to be unique, so we are going to try to combine the dunk 3-point contest on Saturday evening with some sort of event that's going to be more evangelistic, and so trying to get a guest speaker to come and share, maybe try to get some student testimonies, things like that. We're not 100% sure exactly what we're going to do yet, but that's our aim, is to try to combine this sport and ministry together even on Saturday night.
You can find more information on our YouTube channel later today when we have that full video up with more information.
That's Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing's Tom White. He was a part of launching Gus Macker here in Chillicothe.
Pretty good fella, too. Mm-hmm. Along with Waverly Tiger Baseball, the Piketon Red Streaks baseball team earlier this week had their annual Zach Farmer scrimmage, and it also serves as a fundraiser for the Zach Farmer Scholarship Foundation. They raised over $1,000, and that, for those of you that don't remember, Zach, a tremendous talent, athlete in various sports, but baseball was his thing. He went on to pitch for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and then came down with cancer, to which he eventually succumbed from that. But they keep his memory going, not only with this scholarship exhibition game, but there's a monument there to Zach on the baseball.
I believe that's his dad throwing out the first pitch right there. And if you want to go back to our YouTube channel and just search Zach Farmer, and we've done a couple of videos on his career and the impact that he had on baseball fans in the Piketon area. Mm-hmm. Iowa was a winner over the Buckeyes. Season done. I should say regular season done, just due to the fact that they'll probably end up in the NIT, would be my guess, if they don't make it into the NCAA basketball tournament.
I saw a post of something Crown basketball tournament, never heard of it. And there was question as to whether that they may not even be considered for the NIT. So I have never heard of this other tournament.
Well, this happened when Humpty Hitchens was playing with James Madison. Mm-hmm. They fell into like this third other tournament. And it's basically for those colleges who are building their programs, and because a lot of them are like, you know what, we've invested a lot of time just to get into either the NIT or the NCAA. Let's just pack it in, and we'll work for next year. But there are some schools that want to continue their season, and those off-brand, I guess, one way of saying it, tournaments are available for that.
Did you know that the NCAA has the rights now to the NIT? This started like, I don't know if it was quite 10 years ago or maybe about 10 years ago. They bought it because at that time they were doing a preseason NIT,
right,
and then the postseason. But yeah, NCAA nabbed up those rights.
And the NIT actually came before the NCAA.
And was a bigger deal up until probably the 60s, before the NCAA, TV money and all that stuff.
Do they still have the WNIT?
You know, I don't even know. I've not heard anything on it.
Because I think wasn't the women's NCAA tournament 32 teams, and they also expanded to 64 like maybe 5 years ago?
Yes.
Maybe that did away with the WNIT.
Very well, could be.
I don't know.
Also, tonight, the Columbus Blue Jackets, who have struggled on this recent road trip, they're finally back home. I think they were only 1-3 on the road trip, but they still hold the second wild card position to get into the playoffs if the season ended today, which it's not. They take on the Golden Knights of Las Vegas tonight.
They've skated around with a Stanley Cup before on the ice. So
I'm trying to think. Of course, that's a new franchise that won a cup. There was another one. I don't know that I think they came before Vegas as the.
Is that Minnesota?
Well, no, they've been around. I'm thinking of a new franchise, the earliest that any new franchise won a Stanley Cup. They were one, and I think there was somebody else, maybe Tampa Bay, the Lightning. That's a new franchise.
Or maybe the Florida Panthers.
One of those three.
Well, the Minnesota Wild came in when the Blue Jackets came in.
So they're not the North Stars.
No, they became the Dallas Stars.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like the Houston Oilers became the Texas Rangers, or
they were the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. Nashville. That's right. Houston became Nashville.
Right.
Because in the movie Castaway, after he comes off the desert island, let me get this straight. We have an NFL team now. And she's telling him about the Super Bowl
Which
loss.
Before the Titans came along, I was not aware that there was a New Jersey Titans. And Dan Latham brought that to our attention because he was from that area growing up as a kid. And then when the New York Jets do the throwback uniforms.
Is that an AFL team then? Because I don't think the old NFL had a New Jersey.
It might have been an AFL team. Okay. But when the Jets used their throwback uniforms, when Ben Hartsock was playing for the Jets, it was the Titans uniforms. And that's the uniform he was in when he caught his only NFL touchdown pass. So
it's like, who is this? Yeah. Who's he playing for?
Yeah, he's got this green hat and kind of a yellowish green jersey. It looked really weird. All right, that's it for sports. This date in history, we dial up the Litter Media Wayback Machine for
1942. Going to the Dogs.
We'll find out why next.
Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They've been doing this for nearly 5 decades, started back in 1977. Your trusted comfort advisor. When it comes to heating, cooling, and plumbing concerns that you have at your business or your home, you want it to be fixed, and fixed as quickly and as best as possible. That's why you need Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. When you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, it takes you to their website, AccurateHVAC.com. Before we get to this date in history, it's time for our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. And today we would like to introduce you to Marley. Ella Cutright tells us that Marley is a 2-year-old golden doodle. Marley loves to play in the snow during the winter and cool off in the pool during the summer. I'm sure those curls there make it even more interesting. She loves playing fetch and eating Trix cereal. Who doesn't, right?
Well,
tricks are for kids.
That's right.
Right?
Not dogs.
If you'd like to submit your pet, send us an email and tell us about your pet. make sure you include a photo. Send that to littermedia@gmail.com. One pet will be selected as Pet of the Year and be recognized by Petland and Litter Media. Congratulations, Marley. Time for this date in history.
We could have almost had Petland sponsor this one today.
Is that right?
On this date in 1942, the Quartermaster Corps of the United States Army begins training dogs for the newly established War Dog Program, or Canine Corps. The top canine hero of World War II was Chips, a German Shepherd who served with the Army's 3rd Infantry Division. Trained as a sentry dog, Chips broke away from his handlers and attacked an enemy machine gun nest in Italy, forcing the entire crew to surrender. The wounded Chips was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, Silver Star, and Purple Heart, all of which were later revoked due to an Army policy preventing official commendation of animals.
Very nice.
Now, in World War I, the Army did use dogs. Mm-hmm. In fact, the silent movie star Rin Tin Tin was a dog Shepherd that they brought back from Germany, and he became a silver screen star. Mm-hmm. But then the Army decided to do away with using dogs. But then after we got involved in World War II, they brought them back.
And they've been very instrumental in even during the Afghan war and everything, too. This is horrible. I can't think of the name. It doesn't come to me right now. But where Bridge Street South is named after a local veteran who was killed, and he, I believe, was a dog handler.
Oh, okay.
And so when you go through there, I want to say it was Brad. I can't think of the last name. It doesn't come to me right now. It will later. You probably are seeing it right now.
Yeah.
But not Brad Seymour. I can't remember. I shouldn't probably even tried. Mm-hmm. But if you go down Bridge Street, you'll see that name, and he was a dog handler. And that dog helped burst into these where we were looking for all the bad guys.
Yeah.
And so they bust down the doors. First thing they met was that dog. And yeah. I recall back when I was working in Columbus, I was there with, remember Larry Cosgrove? He used to be a Channel 6 weatherman. He and I were hosting a dog walk through the Whetstone Park of Roses. And while we were going through this, they had the canine unit there from the Franklin County Sheriff's Department. And they put one of those sleeves on my arm, and they said, okay, we're going to use you in a demonstration. I'm like, really? And so they gave a command, and they told me, when he latches onto your arm, keep moving it, because if you don't move it, he may break your arm.
Wow.
750 pounds of pressure per square inch in the bite of a German Shepherd. And I pulled that sleeve off, and you could see bruises from where his teeth had latched onto me. And then they say, after I take the sleeve off, and you can come over and pet him now. And I'm like, what?
Sure, I will. Their ability to smell is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know how many times greater than the human, but a lot of the drug dogs, bomb-sniffing dogs, cadaver dogs. I believe one of the law enforcement handlers told me a number of years ago that when they're out on a creek, and this obviously would depend on the depth of the water, but if it's shallow enough, one of those cadaver dogs can know when they're over top of a body. Yeah. This is coming up through the water. I mean, that's incredible, the abilities that they have.
I recall doing an interview during the radio days with a dog specialist, and I was telling him about the lab that we had and the beagle that we had. And I said, the lab, he just comes right back. He's very obedient. The beagle, however, he's tough. And he says, that's because there's 1 million sensory glands going off when he's smelling everything wherever he goes. So, but that lab, he would come right back to you. I did a ride-along with a canine unit for Chillicothe, the Ross County Sheriff's Department here, and it's been a couple of years ago. And we stopped and we did some demonstration, and he put some kind of paraphernalia underneath a bus wheel. And so then took the dog around. It was amazing to watch him at work. And then he rewarded him with the treats. And then he let him play for a little bit, through the fetch and doing all that and everything with him. So it was really neat to experience that. But they are tools.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about it. But I tell you, those dog handlers, they're a true partner to the animal. The animal, and how many times we've seen a person retire, or the dog is being retired, and they become their pet.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. All right, that's it for today's program. We appreciate you watching and listening on Litter Media Radio, and we'll have another show for you again tomorrow. No special events going on this week, but we have, I think, 1 or 2 lined up for next week, if I'm not mistaken.
One for sure next week, and the following week, as of now, we have 2.
Very good. So that's all ahead for you next week. But until then, we're back with a Friday edition of Litter Media Live tomorrow. For Aaron Glandon and Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for joining us on Litter Media Live.